Amsterdam. There is Haug and Marquardt, and the third team boss, Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich, Austrian boss of a German team. Just a few of the team members are running in there. The green flag waving. We're getting charged up to go here, and it's going 4 lights. It's going 5. They extinguish, and what's happened to Scheider? Scheider stalls it. Oh no! And everyone's going to miss him, I hope. And Jerry Hand, they're just going round him, and a disaster for Timo Scheider. And it's Rockenfeller into the lead, and Rockenfeller is somebody just going wide there, and Mortara making an excellent start as well.
And the one that I was noticing was Jamie Green and Gary Paffett as they try and pummel their Mercedes further up the order here, Andrew. And already we've seen a car go off just at into that Tarzan bend. So it's treading all of them as we see. I think that's Rob
can't quite see from this angle who that is. I think it is Wickens. Yeah, it is Wickens. Look, he's got some damage, and then he spins it around, and disaster for the Canadian who last year won the Renault 3.5. There's a lot of debris there, and I think that's going to bring out full course yellow. And Rocky there made a stunning start. Oh no, and look, that's Molina in the gravel. The Spaniard is off, and it's obviously started raining hard again. We saw this in the Porsche Carrera Cup race yesterday, and out comes the safety car.
And it's been incredible how the weather has affected the start.
Now Molina is off there at the first corner, David, and I didn't notice that happening. We were too busy watching what was happening with Timo Scheider bogging down or stalling at the start.
Yeah, so safety car out then, and I was saying, Andrew, the weather has affected the start of many races we've seen. Here it is again.
It did move slightly, Timo Scheider, and then he stalled it. And it's very difficult to start these cars, and finally got it away. Here's the Ekstrom view, and whoa, there's close avoidances there. And Ekstrom running alongside Albuquerque, who did a great jinx to the side to miss it, and Paffett was almost squeezed against the barrier, wasn't he, by Green. Now let's see what happened. Oh. So that was involving Wickens, and did Molina tap the back of Wickens? I don't know, but he catapulted off into the gravel early into the Tarzan corner, finishing up in a gravel trap that's seen many famous names end up there in the past. James Hunt and Mario Andretti, just to name a pair who tangled there once many years ago. And then Rocky really climbing steeply up there and pulling away. And Mike Rockenfeller, just the one win, Dave, in the DTM. And here, this is the Wickens. See what happened here.
There is Rob Wickens there. And guessing he's getting...
I think you got Tomczyk, I think. Yeah, we can see from Tomczyk whether he... No, it wasn't Tomczyk. It was Ralph.
So another dramatic start to a race here at...
There's a David Coulthard view, look.
Zandvoort, yeah.
And there's Wickens pointed the wrong direction. And DC giving Prio a tap, not for the first time this season. Remember, he tapped him off at Brands Hatch earlier in the year. And then Prio pulling away. And the Schumacher car with damage to...
That's the Vittoris car, actually.
Sorry, Vittoris car. And now, called that wrong, Dave. It was Vittoris, I think, this time that tapped Prio, wasn't it? Silver car, that's Vittoris.
So we're seeing Molina's car then being hauled out, and
there the marshals. Wow, they just
didn't see that at all.
No, what happened to Ralph Frey?
So Ralph Frey, who was in a good place at the Nürburgring and had showed great promise.
That. So Molina is out. The Vittoris car is out. Frey is out. What about Wickens? Presumably he's got going again.
Yeah, there was a lot of debris on the circuit, wasn't there? A lot of bits came off the car, but looks like, and I don't, Frey.
And what about Spengler then, up to 11th place? Here they are, all behind the course car. So anyway, apologies to DC. He involved in that incident with Brio. It was with Taurus. Should have been able to tell a yellow car from a silver one day, but it got so exciting at the start with all those things happening. Yeah, I think that car just stalled it. Now he gets it fired up. And look at Green.
Green and Paffett really squeezing there.
There's Farfus, who was telling me last night that he feels he's got a really good car for this race. He just missed out on that qualifying where they were trying to save that set of tyres. Already there, Molina's going backwards into the gravel.
And their disbelief from the
crew. Yeah.
Crew in the...
Now let's see what Rahal Fry was doing here.
Prio's rear end.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and Prio caught that car as well.
There's Molina. Look at Christina Serra. It's Tomchik's fiance. There's Rahal Fry. Well, these conditions, always throw, as the Americans say, a curved ball. And that's what we've had here early on.
And just watch the facial expressions of this guy.
Yep. There's a damaged front suspension of the A5 there of Rahal Fry. Well, we've talked about the losers. Who were the gainers in all this? Timo Scheider is now in 14th place. And Spengler, as we said, up to 11th. Prio is 12th.
And this guy, Paffett, up to 5th place.
Yep. Paffett in 5th. Green in 6th. Tombe in 7th. But Albuquerque's been impressive all weekend. He's in 3rd place at the moment. Everybody keeps the temperature in their anchored tyres. Flags waving.
Now, from a weather point of view, Andrew, we're beginning to see from our comms position blue sky, and that's been indicative of this track over the course of the weekend. It can shower one moment and be bright sunshine the next.
Everyone's still on the slick racing tyres. Decent crowd here. They said 35,000 plus. And of course, it's an easy trip here from Amsterdam. You can jump on the train and walk from the station to this racetrack. And pretty competitive prices to get in as well. So, pit stop window is lap 11 to lap 33. There's Prio, Coulthard, Scheider, Farfus, Merry, Han behind him. Han not running the car that was built for him at the start of the season. That burned badly in a test session. Not when Joey was driving it, actually. When Marco Whitman, their test driver, was driving it. He's likely to be in the DTM next year, is Whitman. And Joey basically in a mule. Let's have a look at this, Dave. Molina into Wickens. And then the car turns around and is off into the gravel.
Yes, once you're
safety car lights out.
Okay.
Getting ready to pull the trigger again, but still rain on the lens. This is difficult for the engineers, for the team bosses to decide what to do. And Mike Rockenfeller, former winner of the Le Mans 24-hour race for Audi in the Phoenix Run car, that bright yellow and green colour scheme which was used to such good effect by Martin Tomczyk last year. Look at the black and red car with the Swiss Italian behind. Edo Montara, years ago the F3 Euro champion, and who had such a great race in Austria. As off they go, and it's back to green, and we are racing again, full blast down the straight past the pits and towards the Tarzan corner. And a move there by Green. Yeah, Green down the inside of Paffett. Those two racing hard together.
Go on board with Gary Paffin. We can see
Yeah.
Jamie Green make that stick.
Well, no team orders here at the moment.
No, Gary Paffin, of course, leading the championship. Jamie Green in third place in the championship. On board with Adrian Tombay.
Tombay, the second generation racer. And that drive just before the start of the season when Audi were able to get money together for an 8th car. And damage to the front of Timo Scheider's car. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. And
what is that? Is that something that's come off another car? And more specks of rain. Well, Dave, there's a lot more action to happen here today.
Yes, absolutely. There's plenty of activity out there on track. The weather's playing its hand as well as these cars are away. And we have got, where are we? We're on lap 4 of 44 in this race.
And these boys are earning their money. It looks to me maybe it's something come off another car.
On board with Augusto Farfus then. So we see them through into this famous bend, which very nearly touches the paddock, doesn't it? Gary Paffin,
Yeah.
we're on board with. Gary having a torrid time of it out there at the moment.
Yeah, he's got the blue car of Albuquerque just in front of him. In 5th place, Gary Paffin.
Now, I wonder how long Scheider can continue with the damage on his car, Andrew.
Well, you worry about overheating, don't you? As we have a good run with Tombay. And Paffin has got Tombay worrying at the back of his Mercedes. Rockefeller in the lead, though.
And on board with Tomczyk, who's looking very, very aggressive. He's got Tombay just in front of him.
And Timo Scheider is getting a new bonnet on the car. Certainly compromised his race big time. Didn't see what caused that. Rockefeller, Mortara, Ekstrom. Audi's 1, 2 and 3. Then it's Green, Albuquerque. No Dutch drivers in this race this year. We've had Renger van der Zande here last year. And of course in the past, Christian Albers from Mercedes. Oh, I'll let you take this, Dave.
This was the Jamie Green move on Gary Paffin. Then it was down the start-finish straight. A little bit of something flew off of Jamie Green's car. We can see it from on board with Adrian Tombay. This, though, that was a different move. Gary Paffin now, as you can see here.
Hold up there behind Albuquerque. I was just going to say that back in 03, a Dutchman won this race, which was Christian Albers. Still racing successfully in GTs and the like.
So here we go then, Rockefeller building up a bit of a cushion over Mortara. 2 seconds advantage he has.
And Ekstrom in a strong 3rd place.
Now look, as I said, Tomczyk is looking really, really aggressive. He's got Tombay in front of him. We're looking back from Tombay's car at the front of the BMW of Tomczyk. Tomczyk doing everything he can to fill that Audi of Tombay's with the mirror image of his BMW, trying to worry Tombay as much as he can. And here was, well, that's as close as you're going to get. And Tombay just having to oversteer a little bit to try and control it as Tomczyk just tagged him at the back a little, Andrew.
Yeah, meanwhile, it's Rockefeller really driving a great race here. Can he make it 2 wins in a row at Zandvoort? There's that Tomczyk battle with Werner behind them. Now Schumacher is in 10th place. Yeah, so that's what happened to the bonnet ultimately. Is that live, Dave?
That's
is that the new bonnet?
That's the new bonnet.
Oh no,
Andrew,
it's
that is
all
the
going
replacement.
wrong for Timo Scheider. And the safety car has come out now again.
Because, of course, he's right on the circuit, I assume there.
I don't know if you've ever had a bonnet come up on a car. I have once, and it's pretty frightening, I can tell you. Sometimes I've seen it happen in race cars, and they can sort of see around the side of it, but no hope there. Just past the pits, he's abandoning ship. And the
safety car gets ready to pick them up
again. Yeah.
Oh, Andrew, what a 7 laps we've had.
Yeah.
And there we go.
We're going to see it happen, I think. There it goes. So maybe there's something wrong with the attachment at the front of that car. Might have been, damaged earlier on. So they put another bonnet on, but it hasn't fitted properly.
And that's just straight into the back of Coulthard, and that's what caused it. So, you know, all new on and then into the back of Coulthard it's almost like a replica of the damage that was done initially, Andrew.
Well, off camera, I saw him through the box window before the start lay his hands onto the car. He does a bit of a ritual.
Yes.
It didn't work. The man from the pole position is out of this race. The rain at the moment seems to have blown away. We've got a dry track again, albeit with leaden skies above. And there is Rockefeller with Mortara.
Now,
Ekstrom, Green, Albuquerque. Paffett will want to get past Albuquerque. Tombe and Tomczyk and Werner. Ralph Schumacher completes the top 10, and then it's Spengler. I'm sure intrepid pitch reporter Verena Wright will be working there to get some quotes out of a very disappointed pole sitter. What about the back of Coulthard?
Yeah, because he pummeled into that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Whether he just missed his braking point or whatever, but we've got the sweeper out. There's obviously some debris there.
Yeah, we saw that sweeper in the Formula 3 race, and there's some shards of carbon fibre down there, so easy to cut a tyre, as that bonnet basically exploded.
So yes, Timo Scheider's ritual then, Andrew, as you say.
Yeah.
Happened for him today. So what this has done then, it's closed the pack up, Andrew.
It has, DR, yeah. There we go.
And there, the facial expressions I find fascinating. Look at his eyebrows.
Yeah, and blinking and... yeah.
Now here we can see the replacement going on, so you know, probably the fixings aren't an issue at all. It's just the fact that he drove into another car again and then caused, you know,
quite a lot of damage at the front. He obviously hit him hard.
And here's where it
the air got under it, and of course it's so thin.
Yeah.
And it effectively just delaminates.
So the car's all being driven through the pit lane then, whilst the sweeper is out there doing its job, trying to pick up those shards of fibre, Andrew, as you have suggested. There's
Prio and Joey Hand going through in their BMWs. Joey, of course, also racing still in America for BMW in their GT car in the ALMS, and won the class against big opposition from the likes of Porsche and Ferrari and Corvette at the Sebring 12 Hours. A win he was very pleased with. His manager Calvin Fish alongside him this weekend to give him a helping hand, but as we said, not entirely happy with this second chassis, which is basically a team spare car. BMWs, the 6 BMWs being run by 3 different teams, of which by far the most famous and the one that our French-Canadian Bruno Spengler drives for, of course, is Charlie Lamb Schnitzer Motorsport. And then Mark Mante's team also running Andy Prio and Farfus after all the success they've had. And then there's a new team that was formed especially to run 2 cars here, which Hand drives for. There's Dr. Ulrich. I'm not sure if he's listening to the to Radio Le Mans. See what's going on at the Silverstone 24 Hours. Silverstone 6 Hours, I should say. 24-hour race coming up later at the Northants track. And again, those eye expressions and that great shot.
Working hard in that car.
Yeah.
It's brilliant shots that we're able to bring you to see what it's like inside the cockpit of one of these awesome DTM machines. So just to bring you up to speed, we're under the safety car with Mike Rockenfeller leading, then it's Edo Mortara, then we saw the rapid eye movements of Ekstrom in third place, Jamie Green, Albuquerque, then it's Gary Paffett, the championship leader in sixth place at the moment with Tom Bay and Tom Chick 7th and 8th. Dirk Werner then in 9th and Ralf Schumacher 10th.
Being led through the pits again as that sweeper does its work.
Now, of course, all this drama is great for the likes of us and race fans to see drama in the racing, but disconcerting with the drivers.
I think we can get down to Farina, who's got one of the drivers with her.
I'm here with Timo Scheider. It's going to be very loud at the moment, but an absolute disaster for Timo. First stalling the car, then hitting DC, and then losing his bonnet. Timo, what happened? I mean, it was a pure disaster today.
Well, I just preloaded the car and the clutch for the start procedure, and the clutch closed twice, and I did not catch the revs back after that, and the light went off, and suddenly the engine was off, so I stalled the engine. After that I had contact with cold heart, I lost the front bonnet, so it's fitting perfectly to the season.
And then why did you lose a bonnet? It wasn't securely fastened? What happened there?
Well, I had a contact to cold heart, and then the guys put another front bonnet on, and it was for sure not proper fixed because we had a damaged front anyway. So yeah, it's disappointing, but like I said, it's fitting perfectly to the season. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Timo Scheider. Very disappointed, obviously. Back to you guys.
Yes, Farina, she doesn't take any prisoners, does she?
No, she
right
doesn't.
in there with the key question.
Yes. So then the shunt on Coulthard was the original damage, and then you were absolutely right, the second bonnet wasn't fixed properly.
Wasn't fixed properly because the fixing area had been damaged.
Yes.
Yeah, can't blame the mechanics for that. Maybe they should have got the old racer tape out.
Yes, maybe so.
Small shots. You notice they're changing gear with the paddle shift, Dave. That's another thing that's new this year. Until 2012, they used to use the gear stick.
Now, Scheider was talking us through the launch procedure of these cars. Can you talk us through that, Andrew? Explain how does that work exactly?
Yeah, well, they load it up on the clutch, so they let the clutch out partly, the engine starts to drag it forward, and then they hold it on a handbrake.
Yes.
And so they try and load it up. You could do it mainly with an automatic car on the road, actually, to try and simulate launch control.
Right.
And have launch control, but it simulates it. It just loads the car up, and then I said, let the brake off, and maybe like flying a model helicopter, you've got to get all your different limbs working at different times to make it happen well. And we've seen other famous drivers like Tom Christensen stall just like that. So we are back racing again, Dave, and off they go. The green flag is unfurled, and they dive down once more into the Tarzan corner and then sweep towards the Hugenholtz bend, and then they will head up into the famous sand dunes once again.
So we go on board with Gary Paffett just momentarily there as he's chasing down Albuquerque. We can see here then behind, looking back at that's Tom Chick from Tom Bay's car. Pit stop window then 11 to 33 laps, 11 to 33. On board again with Tom Chick, and Tom Chick very, very close to Tom Bay here.
Now here's the team manager's dilemma, Dave, now.
Yes.
Heading into this pits window, but there's clouds above. Will it rain again? Obviously, if it's pouring with rain, you can change onto the wets. If you change now, go onto another set of slicks, and then it rains. So you might have people trying to last quite a long way. They've got radar in front of them telling them the weather. It's the same for all the teams. It's common to all of them.
Yes.
And so maybe some will decide just to go with their plan and come straight in, whatever lap they've nominated. But others may decide to stay out, depending if they think another shower's going to come.
So this battle for 7th place is hotting up here between Tom Bay and Tom Chick. Tom Chick very nearly in the boot of Tom Bay's car at one point, Andrew. I mean, this is the closest battle out there on track, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, and we got some have already, 2-3 cars into the pits. Paffett is one of them. Tomczyk going there, I think. Yep, we're on board with Tomczyk. He's going in behind Tombay.
This is going to be a crowded pit lane, Andrew.
Yep. Got to remember we're inside a box, Dave.
Yes.
And it's a bit more difficult for us than being out there to see whether there's any rain. Anyway, here at Zandvoort, though, it's quite a compact circuit. You know, it can be raining on one part and not at the pits, just like at Spa. Seem to be some pretty smart pit stops there. Rockenfeller, though, stays in the lead from Green, who's now elevated to second place.
Now, Jamie Green's strategy last weekend.
Yeah, let's just say Mortara, Ekstrom, Paffett, Tombay, Tomczyk, they all made a pit stop. Well, it was a bit of a late call from yeah.
Wasn't it just?
Tomczyk just dropping in there behind Tombay. Got the sniff of the exhaust pipes, didn't he?
So now on track, Jamie Green is in second place, but of course hasn't had a stop yet. And I was going to go on to say, Andrew,
and Green just going fastest first sector of the race. And this is where you can bang in a couple of quick laps. Look, Green.
Now he took his 2 mandatory stops within quick succession of each other and had those.
Now Green.
Second set of tyres on for a long part of the race, but that strategy for Green last weekend paid off.
Yeah, well, here he comes with Albuquerque. Jamie Green's pit stop. And it's a long one. They've got a problem. Oh no, Jamie Green loses 3 or 4 seconds there. And it's behind Albuquerque.
Now that didn't work at all well for Jamie Green.
And that'll put him also behind Paffett.
Oh, and a little clunk there from Tombay, I'm sure. I think Tombay ran into him. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that in just a mo.
But that was very costly for Jamie Green. You know, I think it cost him 3 places. He went behind obviously Paffett and Albuquerque. Just couldn't quite see. There was some problem with the gun, I think.
Yes, whether it's a gun or the wheel nut getting crossed or whatever, it did, as you say, it's cost him dear, Andrew.
Yeah. They run the wheel nuts with quite soft metal, so if it does cross thread, they can pull them off. It doesn't damage the hub. That's the general idea of it. Rockenfeller and Werner having a good run, isn't it? Let's watch this from above. You see the guys struggling, aren't they, there on the left front. Left front goes on late. Couldn't get the left front off. And this is a good 3-way battle with a bit of trading of paint, with Tomczyk getting stuck in. As Rockenfeller now decides to make the pit stop. Somebody else coming in the back there, wasn't there? Excuse me, was it? Yeah. And look at that. Quick stop for Rocky, 3 seconds flat. That did look good, and that crew, Phoenix team, so good last year. And look at this with Mortara trying to go around the outside of him, and Mortara has to drop in behind, and Ekstrom is in 3rd place. So Rocky just keeping ahead of Mortara, and that was crucial, Dave.
Yes, it was.
I mean, at the moment, that was a battle for 7th place, but that will translate back into a battle for the lead.
Of course.
Mortara, of course, still relatively new to Audi, still trying to make his mark. He's done that already in brilliant style in Austria. And of course, last week at the Nürburgring, another good race, and it was a bit tight here, wasn't it? Rocky had that inside line, because then this track just goes a little bit left before it climbs left again. And here is Tombay versus Tomczyk. Is there a little nick there? I'm not sure. So Dirk Werner is in the lead. The Porsche background to him, and look who's second at the moment.
Yes.
Andy Prio. By dint of not stopping.
Those still to stop. Werner, Prio, Merry. Prio's in now, Merry's in now. Coulthard then elevated to second. at the moment. Joey Hand still to stop. No, Joey Hand has just come in. And we're on board with Gary Paffett here.
Yeah, there's Gary's pit board. Even in this, Paffett dives down the inside of Ekstrom. And that was for ninth spot at the moment. So everything to play for here at the moment, DR. Werner in the lead.
And that, what a move by Paffett then.
Terrific move.
Read it perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence in that car to do that. Werner Coulthard at the moment. They haven't made their stops. Here's the replay of that very good down the inside into the apex from Gary Paffett. Now chasing after Mortara. There is Spengler from near the back of the grid. Probably running in what will become ninth place. Now it'll be interesting to see. Just looking at Werner's split times. And, they are looking pretty good. Quite a lot of drivers still putting in their personal bests in sectors, which shows the track is in good nick. And I think it's just stopped, hasn't he? So
yes, Joey Hand just been in.
And Susie Wolf has just gone in. So it's just Werner and Coulthard to make their stops. The first of two, of course.
That was just a brilliant camera shot from the front of Ekstrom's car. And
now what we don't know, Dave, is if anybody had saved a set of tyres and whether they're now getting that little window where they're getting that half-second advantage.
They're getting the benefit of those.
Only lasts for 3 or 4 laps. And talking to Farfus yesterday, tells me these tyres actually are good enough to go the whole race. They don't go off that much.
Right.
So they have 2 or 3 sweet laps and then they're very consistent.
Farfus at the moment we go on board with as he chased down Ralph Schumacher, who's in 12th place, Andrew. And interesting what you say, the tyres sort of plateau, don't they? And they
but then they don't fall off like the Formula 1 car tyre, which is engineered to do that. And tyres that used to be in this series in the past did that a lot, but not with this latest Hankook. Just looking on the windscreen here to see if there's any spots of rain, but doesn't appear to be so at the moment. And the air temperature still just hovering around the 18 mark. Car number 4 under investigation, Dave.
So that's Timo Scheider.
Well,
no surprise, I guess.
I don't know what they would investigate there. I think we all know what happened. He told us pretty clearly, or told Verena.
Will it be the team in trouble for releasing the car without the bonnet fitting correctly, do you think?
It might be.
Unsafe or whatever, but...
yeah, I've never known that happen. You know, the team did their best.
Yes.
In that sort of torrid situation you have there in the pitch, is very difficult, isn't it, to know. On board with that Paffett. Might have a brief sort of bit of that sun coming down here. Water on that lens, though.
Extraordinary, isn't it? That... So there's the battle then for 4th place between Edo Mortara and Gary Paffett. Edo Mortara leading that at the moment. Gary Paffett doing his level best. Of course, Gary Paffett leading the championship and wants to add as many points as he possibly can to that championship lead. A smile there from Norbert Haug on the pit perch, Andrew.
Absolutely. Well, he'll be happy. This is looking good for Paffett, of course. And Spengler, his nearest challenger, is not making any progress up the field, is he? Yeah, he's down there. We've got the 2 that haven't stopped yet, Werner and Coulthard, and they're just going to be praying for a shower now.
Yes.
But as we said, the tyres don't go off that much, so it's a gamble you can play.
And that's what they're doing at the moment. Now, you mentioned Spengler there, of course, Gary's nearest challenger at the moment. Spengler had a torrid time of it, well, the team had a torrid time of it with a wrong call during quali. And, of course, we're told by Verena that Bruno's suffering from a poorly stomach today, which, you know, as the race duration goes on...
I think the adrenaline will overcome that when you're actually in the race. And DC... disaster there for DC. What happened?
Missed his box, do you think?
Yeah.
Well, that's...
we had a disaster in Friday practice with Ralph Schumacher. Well, here he is. That's a wheel fallen off, do you think? Let's have a look. Oh, the problem with the front finally is released. Away he goes.
And obviously...
something happens. Did they say stop, stop, stop? Because there wasn't a wheel done up. Well, that's damaged. That's damage from earlier. Car is pushed back, and there the Mooker team who run this car sorting it out. But that'll put
so that wasn't
be right at the back of the field from now on.
It wasn't on entry. It was on exit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the way he locked it up, I just wonder whether they shouted at him, "Stop, stop, stop!" Well, a wheel to fall off when you're out on the track. There's obviously a problem with that. Rattle gun. Is it tight?
No.
There's a problem there with the thread, isn't there? Well, now they're saying it's okay. And DC won't have much stomach for racing now, will he? Doesn't want to go. Finally, will be released.
Well,
Dirk Werner has got a 13.9 second lead over Mike Rockenfeller and has to make a pit stop, and the whole procedure probably going to take here at Zandvoort 21 seconds-ish, which is going to drop him back probably into about 7th or 8th place when he stops.
Yep. So the race order at the moment, then Dirk Werner leading, but he's yet to stop. Then we see Rockenfeller, Mortara and Paffett, with Ekstrom, Albuquerque and Tomczyk.
Mortara's got a handy... no, I'd say Rockenfeller's got a handy 1.7 buffer to Mortara, and Paffett is right on the bumper of Mortara. There's Tambe with Green.
Yes,
pushing
Green
hard.
His bumper too, isn't he?
Remember, Green's back there because he lost 3 seconds in a pit stop.
That really has compromised his...
yeah, and now he's stuck behind Tambe.
Yes, with Spengler behind him. And of course, you know, we're talking about Spengler second in the points, Jamie Green third in the points.
Yeah, well...
Werner's in.
Werner's in. And let's see how my prediction works when he comes back out.
7th or 8th, I think we...
well, that's what we're predicting.
Yeah.
But of course, that assumes he makes a good pit stop here. And there he is. And he does Schnitzer crew.
Yeah.
Terrific stop. And they've really learned how to do these pit stops. And here he is. He's going to come right back in the middle of the pack there.
So there's Spengler.
Drops in behind Spengler.
So he's in 9th, Andrew.
Yeah, more or less in the...
Prediction was bang on. Yeah.
And here comes Ekstrom on a different strategy now. Makes his second stop. Ekstrom, he can go all the way from here on this set of tyres. So have they got him out in a nice bit of clear air? That's what they're trying to achieve here. They're trying to get him out with no cars around him so he can really get his head down. We're going to watch his pit tight lap times.
Yes, because he can bang in some fast ones now, can't he? And, you know, whilst the drivers are out there, the team are working hard on strategy at the same time, Andrew, trying to find where's going to be a good window of opportunity to bring them in.
I mean, it's not like Formula One where they've got signals going back to the McLaren base and they've got 8 people sitting there with computers working it all out. It's done by the guys on the pit wall here. So then the race
with Rockefeller leading, Mortara second place, then it's Paffett, Albuquerque, Tomczyk, then it's this battle, Tombe and Green. This is the battle. Tombe in 6th at the moment in that Audi as he goes through, and there is Jamie Green in 7th and Bruno Spengler in 8th place in the black BMW Bank BMW, Andrew.
Yeah, got to say that Rocky is putting in some spectacular laps at the moment. And just his last one, 134.8. And that's similar to Albuquerque and quicker than anybody else around him. So we look round on the Tomczyk car.
So these then, we're seeing the second of the mandatory pit stops being taken.
Yep, taken early.
Those that have taken them, Tomczyk, Ralf Schumacher, Andrew.
Yep. So Ralf with a slow stop there, look, 6.2.
Ekstrom as well, he's taken both his stops, and Ekstrom was, I think, the first to show of those, wasn't he?
Yeah, hasn't...
What's his lap time?
Well,
like?
he was just getting it. No, he's just now on his first full flying lap after taking that set of tyres. And the second 2 sectors were strong, but we'll see in 2 or 3 minutes whether he really has got some good laps going.
So overhead then we look at our race leader, Mike Rockefeller, then we see Edo Mortara, but it's Rockefeller that we're zooming in on there from this heli shot that we're able to bring you at Zandvoort. There he is, our race leader, Mike Rockefeller.
Yeah, Mike, very much a discovery, not of Audi, but of Porsche in years gone by. And there was another car just braking for the pits there, I saw. Was it Spengler? Is that Spengler's crew waiting? Well, there's more than one car coming, actually.
Yeah, there's a few crews.
This is Mortara.
Edo.
And it was Spengler as well. Look at that poetry in motion, wasn't it?
Wasn't
Beautiful.
it brilliant?
Yeah, they practiced that and they got it absolutely spot on. Here is Spengler. And that one, 3.6. So lots of people taking this second stop early on in the race. And Ekstrom is the fastest man out there at the moment.
So he's got the benefit of new tyres, hasn't he? And clear air, Andrew.
Indeed he has. Not sure that everyone else got out in the space that they really wanted to be. And at Rocky's lead, 3.5 seconds over Paffett. And I think from where he started, Gary Paffett will probably take that. Spengler is down in 10th place.
Yeah.
This is looking good for Gary Paffett. And Green in 5th place, also have some useful points.
So there's Edo Mortara going through.
And what will be Albuquerque having another good run.
Susie Wolf down there in 11th place at the moment, but of course she's it's a bit of false position on track, Andrew, as Jamie Green is in.
Yep.
There's Rocky.
Rockefeller, they're all playing this game, aren't they?
Yep.
Well, who is going to stay out a long time? Maybe it'll be Paffett. And that makes the order look interesting at the moment. Paffett. Werner, of course, was the last one to stop for his first change.
There's Jamie Green, there's Augusto Farfus, both exiting the pits there. David Coulthard running high up on the banking there through the Tarzan turn. I don't know whether he's got a problem. He looked to be slowing there.
Well, his lap times are very slow, Dave. Just his last lap time was 1:40.5. And I think he might be heading for retirement. And the rain is keeping off, and that's good news. There's Tomczyk in the traditional BMW colours. Here we go on board with Ekstrom, 3 times winner here at this track. As long ago as 10 years back, he won the first time here in 02, won again in 04 and in 08 as well. Susie Wolf having a good race, you know, in 11th place. As Paffett comes in.
So now Gary's team need to conduct a good one here. And we can see
follows those green, yeah, follows those green dashes in. 3.8.
It's not bad, is it?
We'll be relatively happy with that. Where's he going to come out, Gary? Comes out right by Ekstrom. Right tucked up behind Ekstrom. Oh, Ekstrom rubs his eyes.
Yep.
Not sure if it was in disbelief, but he got past Paffett in that pit stop situation. So now we've got 3 at the front, haven't made their second stops. And that's Prio, who leads the race.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Andy is leading a DTM race.
Yes.
Albeit a full situation. Merry is second in hand. And then behind the real race, Rockefeller, Mortara and Ekstrom with Paffett for 4th place. So that move by Ekstrom to stay ahead of exiting from the pits, Gary Paffett, was crucial maybe to a podium finish.
And where I think that worked was as he came out after his early taken second pit stop, he'd got the clear air. He was able to bank some quick laps,
yep.
wasn't he, Andrew?
Yep.
So there's DC having retired that car.
Another DTM disappointment for DC. Third year in this series now. On board with Gary Paffett. And we're only just past half distance, and all but Roberto Merry and Joey Hand have made their second stop.
Amazing.
Prio has just been in, out of our sight, and has dropped back down to 11th place, I think it is. No, further than that. Dropped back to 15th.
Paffett is in the position here, Andrew, where he's hunting and is being hunted too.
Yeah.
Because he's got Tomczyk right behind him, and of course Paffett's trying to dispose of Matthias Ekstrom in front of him as well. So he really is sandwiched in the middle. Now we go on board with Gary Paffett then as he's trying to hound down this man, Matthias Ekstrom. Look at him glancing into the mirrors.
Yep.
The mirrors full of that black Thomas Sabo Mercedes, Andrew.
Absolutely, and he looks up again and he's worrying about that a little bit. And there is the Gary Paffett view. And Paffett chasing after him. There's Tomczyk. Just saw Hand going through. And, Hand with a problem, obviously, a lap down.
So yes, Joey Hand there.
The Samsung car, and yeah, everyone's going past him. But Merry stays out there. Hand, of course, said he was going a lap down. He wasn't. He's one that hasn't been in yet.
So Paffett going around the wide outside this bank Tarzan corner, Andrew.
And a bit of fiberglass goes flying. That was too close for comfort, but they got away with it. And of course it's put Tomczyk right with the pair of them as well. Well, that's what Gary's got to worry about.
Yes.
To make the move, he could not go one forward, he could go one back. Good racing trio of the well, I don't like to call them this, but they are veteran DTM drivers now. There's Paffett on Ekstrom. What went flying? A little bit of a strake from the front of Gary's car. Might lose a little bit of downforce through that.
He went in.
Strong move there, wasn't it, by Paffett? Look at Ekstrom's eyes.
Yeah.
And he looked in the mirror in the middle of it all.
Norbert Haug watching on as well.
Yep.
So Paffett really trying hard. Of course, he's leading the championship.
Yeah, he needs those points, and he's taking lots of points off Spengler at the moment, who seems to be mired down there in 10th place.
Really interesting how this year, Andrew, Gary is having a vastly superior to the season that he had last year.
Yeah, he didn't have a good year last year, and couldn't really explain why. Just didn't get on with the tyres, I think. Now he's got his head round them. And here is Paffett.
Is he going to go for another go?
Yeah, he is. He's going to try. But look, it's been covered. So now he's going to try the outside and then try and switch back on the in. But he can't do it. And, I mean, he's raced so many laps wheel to wheel with Ekstrom over the past decade. They know each other so well. And what about Tomczyk? He's right there as well, the reigning champ. Finally, we've had everybody make their stop now, except Hand.
So this then, you're watching the battle between third, fourth and fifth places. There's Edo Mortara, who's kind of out on his own. Then it's these three absolutely almost welded together, and Albuquerque going to be joining that party pretty soon as well, Andrew.
He is, and Rockenfeller's lead is 2.1 seconds, just maintaining that nicely. And Mortara second, as you say, Dave, in some fresh air in second place. And then it's the Ekstrom, Paffett, Tomczyk. That battle going on.
Now, I'm just looking out of the window of our comms box, Andrew, and it's very, very dark.
Yeah, it is.
And look at this on the windscreen, some drops of rain.
And the weather is going to maybe turn all this around, and all the brollies are going up, and it's another of these sudden downpours we've had here all weekend.
Torrential shower coming.
What do you do now? And it's not all over the circuit. That's the problem. They're going to go past the pits again. Now, remember that all the team managers are watching our coverage. They will have seen that happen. There's Marquardt. He's wondering what to do. He's looking out at the weather.
Tomczyk up the inside of Gary Paffett there, Andrew, and Paffett sideways.
Spun, and Tomczyk, and off goes Albuquerque into the gravel, and Tomczyk trying to sort it out. Goodness me. And Gary he's stranded there, and everybody, Farfus almost hits the back of him, and then Prio goes round him, and all gone wrong here for Gary Paffett. He can't get it pointed forward, he can't get it into first gear, and finally he does, and Gary Paffett goes right to the back.
Tomczyk got damaged, look.
Yeah, Tomczyk's got damage. Now, what did Spengler do in all that? Of course, he is the big rival, of course, in this championship for Gary Paffett. And what about Green? Or who were the losers in that? Well, obviously Paffett, but Rockenfeller, and the rain is coming down, and surely this is you see, and if they hadn't all changed the tyres, they stayed out, they could maybe have gone in now and done that second tyre change.
You did predict if somebody were to take that gamble.
Yeah, if they'd hung in there.
Here it is, Andrew.
Well, Tomczyk nudged Paffett, and he kept pushing him, and then round Paffett went.
And that's on board from Paffett as he's
haplessly spun, and then Albuquerque through the gravel,
trying to avoid, and he's got beached down in there, I think, or did he get out?
I don't know. Well, we thought something like this might happen. We thought there might be a quick rain, a flash shower. It is. Somebody in the pits there, Dave?
Yeah, the teams were getting ready there. Now, the trouble is, Andrew, what we have seen here is we've had a torrential shower, and then the wind but still being quite aggressive.
Yeah.
The shower has stopped, and the track has dried out very quickly as Jamie Green up the inside of Bruno Spengler there.
Good move by Green. And Rockenfeller 3.5 seconds in the lead from Mortara and Ekstrom. The top three is maintained, and Tambe is up to fourth place. And well, got to really drive with tippy fingers now, haven't they?
Yes. And it's interesting, Andrew,
but
you've made the point.
It's not really damp on all of the circuit.
No, it is. Some of the circuit seems less. Now, who's this in? Well, of course, it's Tomczyk with that. Now, he slowed with damage, didn't he? And Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich shakes his head in disappointment, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't be too disappointed now. Stopped before he went into his pit box, but I think that's the end of Tomczyk. Yeah, drives it straight into the garage, and I'd have to say that point my finger a little bit at Tomczyk there in that incident. There is Mike Rockenfeller, and still quite a long way to go in this race, Dave. Certainly there's 21.5 minutes or so on the clock still.
Yes.
They might switch to a timed race yet. Is that an Austrian sort of hand gesture?
Maybe so. So look at this. I mean, Jamie Green now past Tombe.
Yeah. Jamie Green, good in these conditions, look.
All those years racing on the shale, Andrew.
Oh, yeah. That's where Jamie Green came from.
Driving sideways. He knows how to get the best out of a car in awful weather conditions, and this is playing out for us in
but Mortara's closed up on Rockefeller. The lead is back to 2.3 seconds. We've got lots of racing down there, haven't we?
Yes.
Dirk Bernard. Paffett shown in 10th place. There is Ekstrom.
Now this is the incident again.
Yeah, he locked up, Tomczyk. Locked up. And then went diving down the inside. It was the only place he could go because he was carrying more speed, and then just tagged Gary.
And Albuquerque then just flies past our camera.
But Green is going very quickly indeed at the moment. And Green's last lap was certainly a quick one. Here is Jamie Green. I think he's on the slicks, Dave, still, I think.
Yes, I mean...
Yeah, he is. He is.
Now, as we look
Martin
at...
Tomczyk.
Yeah.
With a face like thunder. And he's berating Norbert Haug. But he locked up. We saw him lock the tyres up. And then he hadn't got full control under braking. And then he went into Gary. But maybe he's saying, well, Gary was getting in my way.
Well, certainly a discussion there between...
Norbert's just nodding his head, look. Well, there you are. Or do you think he was apologising?
Maybe.
Maybe he was. Still quite a lot of wet on this part of the circuit.
Yes.
And Mortara's closed it. Mortara is on the boot. We haven't seen it yet, but Mortara is right behind Rockefeller.
Oh, there it is. Now, this is...
Mortara is carrying a lot more speed at the moment than Rocky. Rocky is being careful, but maybe Dr. Ulrich said hold station. Look how look at that graphic there. 3.5 down to 0.3.
I know. Absolutely remarkable over
Green in fourth. Green still quicker than anybody else out there, Dave. Green has just done a 1:48. 1:48.8. The only other person going quickly is actually
there's Albuquerque, who's
he's been off again. And well, do you know the fastest man out there at the moment is Andy Prio.
Right.
It's just at a 46.1.
But now Mortara really
this is the lottery, isn't it, here? And Mortara, he's certainly worrying at the back of the fellow A5 Audi. We're on the two-door version here.
Yes.
Used to have four-door DTM cars until a couple of years ago. They changed the style. The A5, of course, comes in two-door, four-door, petrol, diesel. Drop head.
Yes.
Saloon.
Thank you. Right. So Rockefeller.
Do you think I drive one?
Mortara. We'd never know that, would you? We'll get on to my Mercedes in a moment. Right. Yeah. So we've got Rockefeller and Edo Mortara battling here. I still think that Mortara and Green are the two that are making the most of the conditions as they are at the moment, Andrew.
Yeah, well, Rocky is being very careful here, and Mortara's got to be careful as well. And Mortara goes down the inside, and Mortara he gives him a nudge and goes past. Oh, now what's the collision there? There's Ernst Moser from Rocky, and he's not very pleased with that. But there's no question of doubt that Mortara's quicker out on the racetrack at the moment.
But there, Andrew, we could have seen...
we could have seen two Audis in the gravel trap.
Yes.
That's what we could have seen.
Thankfully, we didn't. They're okay. And
I want to see that incident again. I don't know if there was a touch. He left an opening. Yeah, he did just touch him.
Yes, there was a touch there, wasn't there? Rocky was able to control it, though.
Racing drivers, we could go down and hear from Martin Tomczyk. Let's see, and we'll try and find out what he said to Norbert Haug.
Yeah, here's Martin now. Martin, first of all, what exactly happened? Was it an attempt to overtake, or did you miss the brakes because it was too slippery?
I locked up on the front right because it started drizzling in the last corner already, so I screwed my brake balance already to the rear. And when I hit the brake, the first initial moment, I locked up on the front right. I couldn't let it spin again, so I tried to avoid the collision, but Gary went wide, entering the corner, so I had no other chance. So unfortunately, I hit him. It was definitely not on purpose. I'm a sportsman since 12 years, so sorry for him, sorry for me. I think for both of us, it was not the perfect day.
So in other words, we saw you talking to Norbert Haug also, so I guess you kind of apologized there at that point or explained the situation?
I explained, and as well I apologized, because for sure that was not my aim, because I need the points as well for the championship. So unfortunately it happened like that. I can't say much more.
All right, thank you very much, Martin. Well, certainly is a very big shame. Thank you.
Say, isn't that refreshing to hear?
Yeah, went down and apologised. Just was playing with his brake balance, probably wasn't quite sure where the bite was. And meanwhile, some motor race still going on. We've still got 12 laps to go, and in this explosive situation here, anything could happen, I think, still. And
this battle at the moment with Schumacher and Farfus, we're on board with Farfus. In 8th place at the moment, Ralf Schumacher in 7th. Spengler is ahead of Schumacher.
Yeah, and more importantly, ahead of Paffett now.
Yes.
Of course. So Spengler's still taking points out of Paffett, and Paffett is behind the BMW of Werner at the moment.
Now, some parts of this circuit, Andrew, is definitely looking more and more rain-soaked than others. But Farfus really pushing hard here. Something almost looked like it fell off Schumacher's car there, or whether it was a piece of debris he ran over. There's Bruno Spengler. And how is Jamie Green doing lap time-wise?
Well, Paffett is the fastest man out there on the basis of the last lap we've seen. Well, it looks like a plastic bag or something. It's just at the front. That's nothing to worry about. It's to the side. It's not blocking any radiator. Farfus there, the 16 BMW in 8th place. And Priaulx there in 12th place, having a pretty handy event. And well, Paffett, he's got 3 seconds between him and Werner. And Paffett just gone fastest in the 3rd sector of anyone in this race thus far. So Paffett is on a charge. I'm sure he's got the steam coming out of his ears.
Well, he needs to be in the points, doesn't he?
Well, I think Martin Tomčic's got more apologies to come up yet. There's that lake, that section where we go between the lakes. And this is where it dives downhill again.
Now we're on lap 33 of 44. The clock is saying 13.5 minutes left to run, Andrew.
Yeah, do the sum quickly. It's just about going to go. There's a great shot showing the North Sea out there. Hasn't been a great weekend for the sunbathers, I have to say.
No.
And there is Rocky, and Rocky's starting to put the pressure back onto Mortara, I think. Obviously, Rocky's been with the Audi family a while now, and Mortara only in his 2nd year.
So the gap between the two, just 3/10, Andrew, very little in it. So Edo Mortara then, and Mike Rockenfeller, as you have said, beginning to pile the pressure back on to Edo Mortara now. Matthias Ekstrom then is 3rd. Audi 1, 2, 3 on track at the moment, and then we see Jamie Green, the first non-Audi, if you like, some 12.6 seconds back.
Mortara driving for Team Rosberg. The other satellite Audi team, and of course, as I've said on a number of occasions, Rocky for Team Phoenix. So some healthy opposition between these two. Quite a lot of rain on our lens there, though. Will we have another shower? Well,
that's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it?
Going to throw the dice again. And well, the gap between these two Audis is seesawing quite a lot at the moment.
Just up to 4/10 now.
And Paffett, by far the fastest guy out there at the moment.
Yes.
Paffett just banged in a 35.7 about half a second quicker than the guys at the front. And that's taking Paffett ever closer to Werner. I think that if he gets past Werner, then maybe, and he's got Farfus as well, as Albuquerque calls it a day. So, Dave, I think we've only got 13 left running now.
It will be absolutely crucial, as you have indicated.
No, 14, counting hand.
To get for Paffett to get past Werner as quickly as he can.
Now look at this, it's Rocky lining up to make a pass here. We can't afford these two finishing up in a heat. Well, Audi can't. And Rocky piling the pressure on. But, well, we saw a magnificent drive in Austria from Mortara. We're getting another display. This young man who, in the middle of the season, has also taken a marketing degree.
Yes.
And it was just after the Austrian race, didn't go back to celebrate, went to do some final studying for that exam. Mortara is based in Switzerland, speaks a number of languages. As they go past Hand, who's obviously struggling with that car. And this doesn't really show the true ability of Joey Hand, because I know he's a fine race car driver. Obviously got a problem with that machine.
And that machine, as you indicated earlier, is effectively a team spare, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lot of work on it to try and get it, and they can't really pinpoint. But Joey says it just doesn't have the traction of the old one. This is a good old group, isn't it? Here
is Paffett now, right on the back of Werner.
This is Paffett. Got to get past. If he can get by Farfus, then I suspect team orders will then put him past Schumacher. As we said, these points are vital this part of the season, and the next one along, of course, would be Spengler. But time is running out. 9 laps to go in what has been a terrific DTM race here at Zandvoort, as we've seen in the past. And we are chasing Werner in the yellow BMW. Down that straight again. All these cars pumping out around 470 horsepower from their purebred V8 racing engines. The architecture of those engines is closely defined by the rules, as Joey Hand makes a stop. Try and sort something out. Maybe he's going on another set of tyres.
So Paffett
Here is Paffett trying to get past the two BMWs in front of him. And meanwhile at the front, Mortara and Rockenfeller holding station. We're looking at an Audi 1-2-3 here in a year which hasn't been great for Audi.
No.
Other than the Mortara success in Austria. Been doing a lot of work. I believe they went down to the French track of Magny-Cours and did some testing there. The testing is closely regulated by the ITR, who run the DTM, so they can't just go off and test anytime they want. As we go on board with Paffett, tries to go down the inside of Werner and is cut off by the young German. And will Paffett have another go? There he is in the black Thomas Sabo car. Remember, Paffett had a great run going for him until he was punted around by Tomczyk. That's the lead pair. There you see how the gap has opened out again.
So Mortara, Rockenfeller, then it's Ekstrom, Green, Tombe, then we're into the battle, Andrew, which is Spengler, Schumacher, Farfus, Werner, Paffett. And Paffett down there, P10 at the moment.
Yeah.
He needs to get past Werner, as you said just a couple of moments ago, though. Time is running out, Andrew.
Yeah, it is.
So Mortara, Rockenfeller, Ekstrom, the 1-2-3. There is Mike Rockenfeller.
Yeah, Rocky, the 2010 DTM winner. He's one of those Audi drivers now that lives in Switzerland, around the banks of Lake Constance. 2004 Porsche Carrera Cup champion in Germany, and a lot of success subsequently in the States, where he really made himself a true professional racing driver, driving for the Alex Job racing team mainly. So here we go, Mortara in the lead, and we can go down to Verena, who's got Felipe Albuquerque, find out why he retired.
Yeah, here I'm with Felipe, our tragic hero in a way. You started in P3, but then it just didn't work out all that well, and the race is over for you. You're very upset?
Yeah, because it's being again on the top and another opportunity missed away. It's always frustrating, and just the water it's missing for everyone. It's very tricky, and unfortunately I almost made it to make the first corner when I lock up, but I went out, and then the gravel it's very deep. I destroyed the front splitter, and then I went out 2 more times, but because the front was just destroyed, and in the fast corner especially was a tricky thing, but it's really disappointment.
I bet it is. Thank you very much, Felipe, and back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Verena. And while that was going on, we had Gary Paffett. We're seeing it in replay here, going past Dirk Werner, and some bit part went flying off the track, flying off the car onto the side of the track, and Paffett moves up, and meanwhile Farfus was thinking of going through as well. Look up there, that's that bit. I don't think that's an important bit, and in front of them Ralf Schumacher and Farfus.
Well, Gary really needed to do that, Andrew, didn't he? And
yeah,
it was a muscly affair, wasn't it?
It was a muscly affair. And now I get the feel he's going to be able to find a way around Farfus as he tries down the outside and tries to switch back, do the undercut there, but it doesn't work for the time being. But he's really pushing hard with just under 5 minutes going, and they've declared
Look at this.
Yeah, great stuff, and he tries down the inside. He's surely going to do it now. Great move, and he bumps into the side of Farfus, and Farfus, welcome to the DTM, mate.
Well, Gary Paffett is on an absolute charge, driven by the punt that he suffered earlier on, and Farfus fights back.
Yeah, the Brazilian, he's a feisty racer from all that experience originally in Formula 3000 and subsequently then into all the World Touring Car Championship races, but this is I think you have to say it's a cut above that, isn't it? And Farfus, this was the move. Farfus didn't give him any room, but Gary had enough to go through, and Werner trying to go past his teammate at the same time.
And that was it from on board with Farfus there. Absolutely, Paffett was totally committed to that and executed it with real grit and determination.
Yeah.
And now Paffett charging down on Ralf Schumacher. What will the team be saying to Ralf Schumacher, Andrew?
Yield. That's what if Gary can get close enough.
Yes.
Because the problem
Farfus ain't giving up, is he?
Farfus is right there again.
Just 3.5 minutes remaining. This is going to go right to the wire.
Now this will make it difficult for them to try and switch. They need those points, remember. Got to mitigate the desire. Gary really crashing it over the curbs, and Mortara incidentally has pulled away a second from Rockenfeller. Ekstrom is in third place in clear air, and then it's Green and Tambay heading for his best DTM result.
Yes.
And then Spengler, and then this battle we're seeing here. And 3 minutes, it's going to mean a couple of laps. Will it be 3? We'll find out.
So Paffett on an absolute charge. Yes.
Yep.
But Farfus is not giving up.
No.
And fair play to him for that. As you say, a feisty Brazilian, isn't he?
Yeah. A lovely man too, and always very chatty in the BMW hospitality. He's got his young daughter here and his family cheering him on. Remember, he was a teenage prodigy in racing, was Augusto Farfus. And people at one stage were predicting he was heading for Formula 1. I think there was a consortium that was funding him.
Yeah.
Well, he might not have made it to Formula 1, Dave, but he's a wonderful addition to the DTM. As there you see the lead to Audi's. This is going to be a good day for Audi. There is Ernst Moser. And Rocky, I don't think is going to make it to Zandvoort's out of 2.
No.
But still he's going to have a podium. It's going to be his best result of the season, nevertheless. And well, for Mortara, his second DTM win. Let's find out how he got on in that marketing exam, by the way.
Yes.
He doesn't need any exams in motor racing, that's for sure.
So Mortara, Rockefeller, Ekstrom, then it's Green, Tombe, and Bruno Spengler. Then Ralf Schumacher and Gary Paffett.
Yeah. Now, see if Mercedes can achieve the switch, which will help Gary in the points. He's going to lose out a little bit, that 20-point lead.
Right,
there it happens. There it was. And Farfus probably expected that might happen. Wonder if he could get past the pair of them while
Just take
it was
advantage.
executed well. Ralph plays the team driver. And Farfus, he's got to watch out now because Farfus is really racy at the moment.
Yes.
There's a minute just under remaining on the board. Have they got the checkered flag ready? Or are we going to go one more lap? We had the similar situation at Norris Ring. Here is Farfus, and there's the move, and you see Ralph just gave him enough room.
Yes.
Just gave him enough room.
And then shut the door.
And then shut the door on Farfus. Perfectly executed.
And now Farfus.
Now Farfus has gone through, and Werner's going to go past as well if he can. Now he can't hang on, and Farfus and Ralf Schumacher is touching the back of Farfus, and Schumi will experience, and Werner's going to go past a pair of them, and he does! Magnificent stuff here. Good move by Dirk Werner. And at least Ralph gets Farfus, so Farfus has gone backwards very quickly, despite being on a big charge. And where is that checkered flag, Dave? And now they are on the last lap, surely. And we're watching this. Where's Mortara on the track?
So this now the last lap.
The last lap now. And there is Mortara. And he's got a handy lead over Mike Rockenfeller, and he's driven a fine race as the young Swiss-Italian. And here he is in the Playboy colours and the black and red Audi A5, heading towards his second victory of his young DTM career. Former F3 champion, and Ralph Binner. We just saw the aftermath of that.
Yes, I wonder if Augusto had anything to do with that.
And Merry's quite close behind now. So Mortara, here he is, sitting back comfortably in the Audi A5, with Rockefeller second going to be an Audi 1, 2, 3. And hard work in mid-season has made this car totally competitive here, as the checkered flag is ready, is unfurled on a fine victory by Edo Mortara. Rockefeller finishes second. And then it's Ekstrom. And the rest coming through, Dave. There's the boss of Team Rosberg. Team set up originally by Keke Rosberg. Still we got,
look at this,
and something hanging off the front of that car, and the checkered flag waves. And what Gary Paffett picked up on the rear wing.
So there is Ekstrom. We go on board with him. Mortara, Rockefeller, Ekstrom then. And there is Edo Mortara. And the congratulations
there's
on the
Arno
pit
from
perch.
Team Rosberg, and Mr. Pippig, the boss of PR for Audi, going over.